Not really, as you know, the casual dining market is huge in the UK.
Based in Nairobi, welcome to The Real Story.
There is a place and space for a good quality food. And, the kebab generally had a different kind of perception. And as I said earlier, it is expectation-defying good food where the customer is going to love it. And it offers something different than just normal burgers that people are used to.
Now, inflation's running at a 40-year high. Even a man with your many years of experience can't have seen anything like this in his career so far. How easy is it going to be to navigate its way through this?
Ian, it's not going to be easy as everybody, going to be suffering. Our customers going to be suffering. And it is very important at this time that we don't forget our customers. Now, a lot of businesses, when they look at the inflation coming through the business, and the first thing they want to do is pass it on to their customers. And as the times are tough, disposable income is low, and this is the time that we should look after our customers and not pass the cost to customers. Absorb some within the business if the business can afford it, and therefore look after our customers, build a loyal following, and eventually those customers going to be your loyal customers for decades.
You don't worry, though, that inflation potentially is going to eat into consumers' disposable incomes and perhaps make them less likely to eat out?
That is going to happen, absolutely going to happen. And that is why value is very, very important. If you give customers a value for money, the customers will come. Now, as the disposable income goes down, customers going to be less likely to go out. But when they go out, they want to make sure they get a full value for their money. And that is the time the businesses that can provide a good quality food with good service and good value will survive. And, we have to look after our customers. Obviously, the pie is going to be shrinking, and we have to make sure we get a bigger slice of the pie by giving good service to our customers.
And are you fairly optimistic you'll be able to get your hands on all the sites that you want?
Well, at the moment, sites are easier to find because there are many businesses who have vacated sites. So there are sites. We are finding it easier to find sites than it was a few years ago. And German Doner Kebab has a very good team who are looking at sites constantly, and they're supporting their franchisees. So I think we are in a good place. Yes, time's going to be tough for the next year or two until we get the inflation down. But, when the times are tough, there are opportunities for good operators, good businesses to capitalize those opportunities. And that's what I'm going to do.
Well, I look forward to hearing more about it in future, Atal. Good to speak to you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Just going to break into the business news momentarily. We've got a bit of breaking news to bring you, which is that Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has won a bid to bring a High Court challenge against the Home Office over his UK security arrangements. Doubtless we'll have more on that throughout the morning here on Sky News. In the meantime, retail sales volumes in the UK fell for the second consecutive month in June, but by less than expected. Well, the 0.1% drop in sales volumes in June was lower than the 0.3% fall that had been predicted by economists. Meanwhile, the value of goods bought rose by 1.3% month on month, highlighting the impact of inflation. Well, the Office for National Statistics said fuel sales volumes fell by 4.3% during the month, reflecting record high petrol and diesel prices. But food sales volumes rose by 3.1% on the back of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Well, retail's clearly a sector struggling in the current environment, but there are plenty of others. One business well placed to comment on this is FRP, which advises companies on mergers and acquisitions and capital raising, but which is also a leading player in corporate restructuring and insolvencies. Its underlying earnings in the year to the end of April rose by 12% to £25.7 million, despite what it said was quite a subdued restructuring market. I put it to the Chief Executive, Jeff Rowley, that might surprise a few people.
I can understand that, but we're obviously still in a period where, certainly for our results, we were covered by a good chunk of government support during the course of 2021, which only really rolled off in the start of 2022. So you've seen a world where companies have been able to sort of navigate their way through, and lots of support, whether it's from government, whether it's from HMRC, there's still lots of liquidity in the marketplace. So I think in that sense, we've sort of had a slightly unusual environment where, notwithstanding all the headwinds that we read about on a daily basis, companies have been able to navigate themselves in an environment that's been incredibly supportive.
Would it be your expectation that administrations and insolvencies increase this year?
I think on any logical assessment, that has to be the conclusion, in the sense that, we've been through the pandemic, we've been through all sorts of economic turmoil. We're now in a world, obviously, with significant inflation. We've got supply chain issues, we've got labour shortages, we've got all sorts of issues around logistics, etc. So, I say on a logical basis, it's likely that there are a number of restructurings that will need to take place as we move through the end of 2022 and into 2023.
And which are the sectors that you see as being most vulnerable?
I think at the moment, one would have to conclude that anything that ultimately has a connection back to the consumer is likely to face challenges as we progress through the year. As I referenced a short while ago, we all know that inflationary pressures are really going to hit home in terms of the consumer, whether that's through our food bills. Obviously, we know that there is some significant energy price increases yet to come through as the year progresses. So I think it's likely to see a tightening from the consumer. I think we'll go through a summer where people are still going to have their holidays, etc. But I think that is an area where businesses are going to face challenges as time moves on.
And what about corporate finance activity? I mean, received wisdom is that it's pretty quiet out there. That doesn't appear to be coming through in your numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we're operating in the mid and lower mid-market areas, so there is still plenty of activity. And I think there was an EY report this morning that was commenting on financial services activity, which, whilst overall values were down, volume was still holding up. And I think that plays out through the sort of lower end of the market. So, we are still seeing that there is liquidity in the context of trade buyers having funding, private equity still has funding. We're seeing sterling in a sort of obviously a place of not being particularly strong and possibly getting weaker depending on what we do with our tax policy. So I'm not saying that there isn't going to be any impact, but certainly at the moment we are seeing transactions holding up and taking place.
Would a more rapidly rising bank rates have an impact on that?
Potentially. I mean, it obviously will go to, I guess if you're looking to cause for a transaction to take place by way of a significant amount of debt, then that may make valuation slightly more challenging. And I think debt providers are going to be more sort of detailed in making sure that they're backing the right deals. But I don't think that we will see a complete tightening of the market, but I think fundamentals will have to be strong in terms of transactions that take place.
And in terms of the number of employees you have, you've gone up from 438 to 504 during the last 12 months. I mean, clearly you're not having trouble attracting people, but are you having to pay them more?
We're all conscious, obviously, again, of the sort of overall inflationary pressures, and everyone will probably have read, quite regularly as to, certainly in the legal sector, some significant inflationary pressures. We obviously look at that carefully, when we get to our annual pay reviews, and, and we've tried to reflect a sensible level of pay reviews having regard to where the business is. But we're, at this moment for our business, not facing any significant pressures, but we obviously keep ourselves very attuned as to what's happening in our marketplaces.
Are you still going to be hiring again this year? Are you looking to take on more people?
I think in the context of always, if there are good quality people with a relevant skill set and talents to improve our team, we're always open to looking to grow from there. I don't see ourselves going in terms of massive recruitment in anticipation of activity levels. But as I say, we'll always look to grow our team, whether that's organically or through acquisitions if the right opportunities present themselves.
Well, that was Jeff Rowley from FRP speaking to me a little earlier. But how much of a company's reputation is down to its chief executive? Well, recent research suggests that customers trust a business more when the CEO is more visible, especially on social media. And it's led to a big rise in personal branding for company executives. Well, joining me now is Sam Winsbury. He's founder and chief executive of the personal branding agency Kurogo. Sam, I'm fascinated by this, not least because I can remember CEOs in the past, for example, Philip Clark, when he was at Tesco. He started out on social media and then basically had to bow out because it was causing too much trouble for him.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more examples of that at the moment. We've seen the likes of Stephen Bartlett recently has built a massive business social chain, similarly to the Tesco story, really built off the value of personal branding. So huge potential for it. And of course, there is a potential for it to become so overwhelming that people have to reduce how much of it they're doing.
So why does a CEO need to bother about their personal brand?
Yeah, so you hinted at it there. Trust is obviously a massive thing. I think there's never been such a shortage of trust between consumers and businesses, or even businesses and businesses before. So earning that trust back, particularly in the online world, is much more difficult when it's harder to meet people in person. So really important for building trust with your audience and with your potential customers.
How do you show someone on social media, though, that you are authentic? I mean, I imagine a lot of CEOs that do still put out tweets and Facebook posts have someone to do it for them in their press office.
Yes, well, it's very easy, obviously, if we're meeting in person, to build up trust and to build relationships with people. But when we're doing it online, that becomes a lot harder. It's quite easy to, create a good persona for yourself for 30 minutes during a meeting. But if you're doing it over the course of 3 to 5 years, every single day online, that's, from my standpoint, far more convincing.
But if I'm a CEO and I say, well, okay, my business is pretty successful, my reputation should really follow on from that. I don't need to go out and promote myself. It will just grow on the merits of what I'm doing with the business. What would you say to that?
Yeah, well, that is an issue that a lot of people are facing, is that they have these amazing businesses and they've got great results, they're doing great things, but people simply don't know about it. And that is the problem that a lot of people face, is not actually achieving amazing results or having great businesses doing great things. It is getting people aware of that amazing work that we're doing. And the way I kind of stumbled into this was people reaching out to me for help with this sort of thing when I was younger. And at the time, I didn't have an awful lot of experience. I didn't have a huge business. I didn't have a team. We weren't doing amazing work. And that really struck me, because I thought, if I can get this reach and get people trusting in me and have enough trust in me to help them, imagine what people with, 5, 10, 20 years experience and a great business can do with it. So huge potential for those people. But quite frankly, doing great work is just not enough anymore. It needs to be publicized as much as possible.
All right, Sam, I mean, he's not a CEO, but how would you, for example, advise Boris Johnson to rebuild his personal brand? I mean, he's effectively just been sacked by his MPs because they didn't trust him to tell the truth to them.
Yeah, that's a slightly deeper issue than having a good online presence, I think. But regardless of political standpoints, I think it's about sticking to your word and actually doing good work outside of the online world. It's very difficult to build a strong reputation online when your offline reputation or the things that you're doing offline don't quite match that. So it's first about making sure you've got kind of the body of work and good initiatives kind of offline, and then presenting that information online first. You can't cover it up or forge a reputation online. Personal branding is not about creating a false representation of yourself or forging a reputation. It's about framing your reputation, framing your expertise, your experience, your values in the best way possible.
All right, Sam, we've got to leave it there. Good to talk to you this morning.
Thank you, Ian.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll have a look at how the markets are doing this Friday morning. Stay tuned.
They have breached the road. There is a lot of gas being fired all around us. शांति से इनको समझाओ, वरना ये हम लोग It is an absolute carnival kind of atmosphere out here for Prime Minister Modi's decisive victory. These students are defying the prohibitory orders, and now they're going to be arrested. We aim to be the best and most trusted place for news. The roads have been inundated. The only way out is to get people by boat. What is feared that over 200 people might have died because of these landslides. This on any given day would have been bustling with people, but today it's absolutely deserted. This is one of the most sensitive areas of Northeast Delhi where there's been clashes. I'm Neville Lazarus and I'm Sky's reporter based in Delhi.
Confirming that they are now engaged with Russian soldiers. Air raid sirens fill the airways.
In the distance, artillery rains down.
It feels very close to the centre of... There's one.
They found this devastation to their apartment.
Lots of people live here. Quite a few of the windows of the houses have been blown out by the blast.
And it feels that it's changing each day.
I'm Inzamam Rashid and I'm Sky's North of England correspondent.
Well, the euro's on the back foot this morning following some disappointing flash purchasing managers index survey data that's hit the screens in the last hour or so. They point to a contraction of activity in the eurozone this month. As you can see, the single currency is off nearly 0.75% right now against the US dollar. The euro also down by nearly 0.25% right now against sterling. Meanwhile, the pound, there's also been some flash PMIs for the UK, which were disappointing but not as bad as the ones for the eurozone. Sterling off by 1/3 right now against the US dollar. And we'll be talking about the exchange rate a little later on in the programme, so do stay tuned for that. On the equity markets, the Asia-Pacific region had a largely positive session overnight following last night's gains on Wall Street. The Nikkei in Tokyo and the Hang Seng posted gains, while Sydney and Shanghai were more or less unchanged. Mumbai, which isn't on the screen, well, that finished up 2/3%. In Europe, equity markets are a bit mixed on those flash PMI numbers. Well, look at that. Actually, they're not. They've come back into positive territory. They were a couple of them were trading lower as I came into the studio half an hour ago. As you can see, all the main continental European indices now in positive territory. Maybe they think that the PMIs have knocked the prospects on the head of any further ECB rate rises. I think that might be wishful thinking. Here in London, well, the pound, the FTSE 100 is in positive territory right now, up 0.25%, helped by some of those big dollar earners. When the pound falls, if you're a dollar earner, then that translates into higher gains against the weaker sterling. So that's what's pushed some of those companies higher. In terms of the leading percentage gainers, well, Ocado is among them. It sold off yesterday on its results, but it's rallied this morning. The share's up nearly 6% there. Among the fallers in the blue chip index, though, are JD Sports. That's off 0.2% following a trading update this morning. Outside the FTSE, the professional services firm JTC is up nearly 3% right now on news of record new business growth. But Aston Martin Lagonda, the car maker, the shares there are down by 7.5%. That's on comment from one of the brokers this morning. As for the oil price, well, that is on course right now for its first weekly gain in 5 weeks. A barrel of Brent crude will currently set you back $104.06 a barrel. That's up 1/5%. Well, joining me now is Victoria Scholar. She's Interactive Investors Head of Investment. Victoria, welcome to you. These PMI flash numbers that we've just had, I mean, really quite disappointing for the Eurozone. Not great for the UK, but really quite concerning.
And I made it possible for me.
And those were the words that you'd heard at that conference.
On the conference day.
Praise the Lord.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference, Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobalorg. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie, Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers, Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
In Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Broadcasting live online.
Somebody is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We call them London for home. For here, we call them London. And I sabi you.
The coolest way to start your weekend. The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
The best radio show.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
The best radio show.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
The best radio show.
Oh yes, of course. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we want to salute you all and say welcome to the Friday edition of the Morning Show. Today is a Friday, the 22nd of July, the year 2022. With a time now 10:42 from the House of London. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the Morning Show.
Playing in the background, the victory song from the new song PIWC Odoko Ghana. And I salute you all. Welcome once again to the program. But I'm saying morning to my team this morning. Mr. Frank Davis working behind the scenes. Mr. Olayomi, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GI Accountancy Services, our money man, and the one and only, still my only producer general, Mr. Francis Gayase. Massive good morning to you. But it's my sincere privilege and honor to say a massive happy birthday to one of our presenters of Starr Radio UK. No other person but the one and only, and still Queen of the Airwaves. And if you say Warakoto, it's your birthday today, and I say a massive happy birthday to you. To all presenters of Starr Radio UK, I salute each and every one of you. And once again, welcome to the Friday edition of the Morning Show. But let me also say good morning to Kojo D all the way in Ghana and the family there. And then to the one and only Felix, my brother, all the way in Aberdeen. Felix, well, it was my fault. I told you that I was going to call you yesterday. I forgot to.
My apologies for that. Mr. Kofiali Abdul Yakin, massive good morning to you, Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama. To all our listeners, those of you in the Americas, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, and on the African continent as well. I salute each and every one of you. Let me say a special one to Tassino all the way in Moscow, Anthony Adedaji all the way in the US, and Amaya Jergini all the way in Nigeria. To all the South Africans who hold our backs like no man's business, I say massive good morning to you. Well, it's Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
From the Lord, what to say now? Let me go.
Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Now, if it's the first time of tuning in to listen or watch us on the Friday edition of the morning show, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. And exactly at 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Olayomi who will be joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. The program continues from then. At 12 o'clock, the lines are opened for you to call in. We continue till 12:30 when we take you to Kent, where our Money Man is, where he's going to be bringing you the Money Hour this afternoon. Then after that, we'll bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in the gist, that's what's going to be happening today. So wherever you are, if you're standing, hold on to something. You're sitting, buckle up. Get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. And let's take this journey from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. It's making the headlines. Why not? We're going to touch on it. So once again, welcome on board. Okay. Enjoy the music in the background whilst I bring you some of the issues or things that we have to be looking at. The Daily Quote says the process of becoming successful in the era of ICT involves hard work, total obsessive dedication, and a few sparks of imagination. So do you think that you are doing your best in that form? If you're not, then please. Let's say good morning to Michael Oawe. He says good morning to everyone. Eku isi takun Mr. Koike. Thank you very much there, Michael. All right, let's start Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Victory song still playing. You feel deflated? You feel that you didn't, get what or hit the targets that you set up for yourself this week? Look. When you drive, you look into the front mirror, not the windscreen. You look forward, not looking in the rear mirror. Okay, if you look into the rear mirror too much, you might end up crashing. The concentration should be ahead of you. Once in a while, you slip to just look there. So don't let your concentration be on the rear mirror. No concentration. Look ahead. There are more fortunes and good things ahead of you. But we're streaming live on all the social media platforms. But the best way to listen to us, if you got our own, you download our apps. Go to the App Store, whether it's iOS or Android. Look for Starr Radio UK Global, Starr Radio Global, and then download it for free. It is interactive, and you can get everything that we are doing there as well. Okay, time fast spent. 10:48. Let me bring you the travel updates. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'm keeping navigated. I promise I'll be on the Star Radio UK travel update that comes to you every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:48. So on the travel this morning, Central and Circle lines on the underground. Central line has got severe delays. The Circle lines have got minor delays. If you can avoid them, do your best to avoid them. That aside, District line is partly suspended and has got minor delays as well. Hammersmith and City lines partly suspended, minor delays. Jubilee line, minor delays. Metropolitan and Victoria lines, minor delays. That aside, all the others, good service. Now let's hit the roads. The major roads in London. Now A24, A316, A4, A41 Central London Red Route and North Circular A406 have all got closures. Now A23 has got serious delays. If you can avoid it, do your best to do so. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads as to keep you navigated. On the river by this morning, apart from the Woolwich Trail that's got special service, all the others have got good service. I'm moving on to the final segment of the travel update as the National Rail. On the final segment, First Transparent Express has got special service. Northern Rail special service, ScotRail special service, and Southern has also got special service. Well, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference, Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobalorg. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie. Ada Ahi. Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God. Conference speakers, Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 10:51 is the time. Let me once again say good morning to Anthony Adedeji. Thumbs up to you, gentlemen. You are not late to class today, you see. I hope everything is well with you. Well, a quick social announcement there. The Inspire Day Nursery, yes, inviting you to the Summer Barbecue 2022. Saturday, that's tomorrow, 23rd of July, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. At 68 Wilmer Road, Croydon. The postcode is CR02XP. Now, there's going to be games, bouncy castle, face painting, music, raffle, and great food as well. Tickets in advance, £3 per person. Babies under 1 coming free. There's going to be more on the door, and please bring money and a spirit of giving. All proceeds will go to Noah's Ark Child Hospice. Well, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. To all teachers and all parents, for a good work done, today's end of term. Well, some are embarking on a journey to their holidays, and I say massive good morning to you wherever you are listening to us from, in your cars, in your homes, at your desk, wherever you are listening to us from. Good morning. Welcome to Star Radio UK. So let's move on straight to some of the stories that we're going to be looking at. That is Global Trotting for you. The story says, for those that will be looking at what is happening in Nigeria, Dilo Malayi reacts as Tinubu forgets name of his political party. Well, is he too old? Maybe he needs some prompting. You know, at times we also need prompting, you know. When there are a lot of things, you have to note some of them. If not, you might forget. Is he suffering from dementia or something of the sort? Well. Alec Petrie, court allows order to compel IGP to arrest Tinubu. Oh my goodness. That's going to be an interesting one, you know. Now we're going to be looking into details at that story. Who is going to dare go arrest Tinubu? My goodness. And breaking, Governor Otun Wike Ades take decision on defection. Defection to where? Well, we'll be looking into that in a moment, so stay tuned, don't you go away. When it comes to Ghana as well, buy fuel from only certified retailers, the MPA is saying. Why is it because of the high price of fuel in that part of the world? Well, we're bringing more on that front. IMF cannot solve countries' economic woes, Dr. Adam is saying. And Professor Korte is calling on government to review e-levy to 0.5%. We'll be touching on that in a moment. Senegalese react to Sadio Mane's Player of the Year award. Well, Sadio Mane has been awarded African Player of the Year award. Congratulations to him. Well, in South Africa, there is fear of unrest as food prices soar in South Africa. Naturalists across the globe. So what do you think is going to happen? Are we going to be seeing lots of uprising like what has happened in Sri Lanka? Where they managed to get the...
There's thousands of people who die every day. In spite of all the pandemic and the lockdowns and the shutdowns, we are...
Hope food crisis could ease if Ukraine grain deal agreed. Turkey says it's brokered a deal with Russia to unblock crucial export of grain from Ukraine through the Black Sea. So if that happens, then that will bring about a bit of calmness in the food issue. But that is not going to sort it out because of the high prices in fuel. And Sri Lanka, wow, the police have raided anti-government camp. That you are the ones causing the trouble. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Well, Russia is looting still bound for Europe and UK. A Ukrainian steel boss accuses Russia of stealing metal that had been meant for Europe. Well, they've occupied that place, then they will take it away. So that is it. They are taking it as some of their war booty. Well, Silver School closed down without subsidy deal. And pair of a risk school funding crisis, teachers say. Education unions say a proposed 5% rise will put pressure on budget and waiting staff shortages. NHS waits for, okay, just bear with me. NHS waits for patients to pay for private ops. And people are taking out loans and turning to crowdfunding to pay private medical bills of up to 15,000. Now, if you desperately need the up, and I mean, you look at the waiting list, it's going to take you maybe a couple of years before it gets on you or gets to you. Then what do? The only way forward is to just maybe if your health is dire. I mean, what do? Well, we'll be looking more into that. This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. You think that some form of privatization in the NHS will help us out? Okay. Let's take a break. I'm going to bring you another time of music. That's what my niece, one of my nieces, was saying when she was a little girl. Let me say good morning to you, Mr. Mara Abedi. She would say music. Well, enjoy this. Another one from the new song TNS.
Glory. Actually, aya. Oh, I can't believe it. We say, actually. That's right. Come on.
All around the world.
Never be afraid.
Don't you be afraid.
Yeah.
Joy comes in the morning.
Yeah.
Troubles fade and pass away.
You know that.
For there's a friend in Jesus.
Always wiping tears.
Will wipe your tears away.
You have a broken heart.
And if your heart is broken,
everybody, what you gonna do?
just lift your hands and say,
you don't have to worry.
Don't have to worry.
You go.
Don't you be afraid.
Joy comes in the morning.
Joy comes in the morning.
Trouble never lost always.
Troubles fade.
Remember, there's a friend. Everybody say,
for there's a friend in Jesus.
He will forever wipe your tears.
Wipe your tears away.
And if your heart is broken,
And if your heart is broken,
come on, what you gonna do?
just lift your hands and say,
I know. Everybody say,
I know that I can make it.
I know
that I can say,
All around the world.
no matter what may come my way.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7 on your smartphone.
Jesus, I can take it.
With him I know.
With him I know.
Another one from the new song Choir Group. Let me say good morning to Olayomi John. Olayomi John. It's a Ekun Isi Oluwa Yotombo Maran. Okay. Amen. As God will protect you all. Thank you very much, and may God protect you as well. And it's all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. How about making your morning? Well, it is Friday, of course. It's Friday, of course. So this is why we take all the easiness into the weekend. Are you stressed out during the course of the week? Don't get stressed out, man. You know, some way, somehow, things sort themselves out, you know. I don't know how it happens, but it does. So don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. I know, with Jesus you can make it. So once again, welcome to the show, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Whilst we went from so light, let me bring you some of the stories that have been picked up from Nigeria. Let me say that once again, thank you very much to the TS. Okay, the new song, the TNS. Okay, TNS, not TSN. TNS. Maybe I've turned to Tinubu. Who forgot the name of his party? Okay, because this is my party as well, so maybe. Alright then, let's hit the ground running. Let me tell you about some of the story that is made the rounds in Nigeria whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in. Interestingly, Dino Malaye has reacted to Tinubu for getting the name of his own political party. Former senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Dino Malaye, has mocked the All Progressive Congress and the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu for being reminded of the name of his political parties by being reminded of your own name or your surname. That seems to be exactly what has happened on this front. And the story says that, well, a video of Tinubu's hands trembling while giving a speech at a public event emerged online. Now, in this video, Tinubu called Action Congress before he was corrected by his associates at the event. Reacting to this, Dino, in a video shared on his social media page, said Nigerians cannot move from saying Baba to saying Kaka. Well, he thinks that Tinubu is old. But, well, he said Nigerians are already frustrated with the current administration and will not graduate to a grandfather. In his words, Uncle Kaka calling APC Action Congress before he was corrected, Eyinko Logan. We cannot graduate from say Baba to say Kaka. No, we will not allow that to happen. We are already frustrated with say Baba. Say Baba. You want us to move to say Kaka. Kaka means grandfather. You are graduating from father to grandfather. Say no to say Kaka. All right then. Well, a lot more going to be coming your way from there. It's quite an interesting piece there. But well, lots of the events about Tinubu. Yeah, alleged perjury. Now, court has allowed order to compel IGP to arrest Tinubu. So how can IGP arrest Tinubu? My goodness. Well, does it got a leg to stand on or the feet to stand on to do so? Well. Justice Ian Eden Echo of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted the request of the Incorporated Trustees of Center for Reform and Public Advocacy to apply for an order of mandamus that will compel the Inspector General of Police to prosecute the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, over alleged perjury. The court granted the leave while delivering ruling in an ex parte application urged by the group through its lawyer, Mr. Ugo Nwofo. The ex parte application was filed by the group following the alleged refusal of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Osman Akali Baba, to effect the arrest and prosecution of the former Lagos State Governor for alleged supplying false information on oath in respect of the educational qualification. Nwofo, who moved the application, informed Justice Ekwo that he predicted his argument on the rule of the Federal High Court to first obtain permission of the court before proceeding with a suit seeking order to compel the police chief to carry out his constitutional duties. Now, Justice Ekwo, in a brief ruling, held that the ex parte application was meritorious and granted it. The judge fixed November 1, 2002 for hearing the substantive suit. So, would the IGP, now being compelled by the courts, go and arrest Tinubu? Can he do that? Will he do that? Well, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi joining us in the next few moments, but stay tuned whilst I'm looking at some of the headlines that we've posted so that you know what is going to go on there as well. In another story, the Benue State Governor Samuel Otom on Thursday spoke on the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party. Now, Otom, who recently returned to Nigeria, disclosed that he met with Governor of Rivers State Nyesom Wike, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, and others over the differences in the parties and the party ahead of the 2023 general election. According to Autumn, the aggrieved governors had decided to remain in the main opposition party. Now, Governor Wike is not pleased with the decision of the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to pick the governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, as his running mate. Autumn, who had condemned Atiku for ignoring Wike, said he and his aggrieved colleagues have agreed to remain in PDP. He, however, called on Atiku to reach out to Governor Wike for reconciliation. Now, do you think that he reaching out to Atiku reaching out to Wike will bring about any change in the political atmosphere in that particular area, and that will sort of bolster their chances when it comes to the election 2023, whether it's going to be held or not? Now, Autumn noted that Wike is a big factor who remained in PDP when he and Atiku left the party for the All Progressive Congress. The Benue State Governor stated it is not too late to resolve the crisis in the PDP. Autumn added that once Wike is pacified, he is also pacified. He said during the meeting they agreed that Governor Wike need to be pacified. So, well, are they going to pacify him? And with what? 10 sheep and 3 cows and chicken and what? Some goat. A friend of mine called goats goat, you know, and that's a cousin of mine. He says that all the time. But well, it is Starr Radio UK. Adeniyi Farouk Okanlomo, good morning to you. I hope you are doing very, very well. Listener, just stay with us. Mr. Olayomi is going to be joining us in the next few moments. As he was just putting some few stories together. So please just bear with us. Okay. Some other stories still making the rounds in Nigeria. Defection. I can't watch you leave as Shatima woos ex-governor Bindo. Well, people are doing their best to stop people from leaving their parties because they think that by so doing, it affects their fortunes. Now, amidst the rumored plans of defection, the All Progressive Congress vice presidential candidate Kashim Shettima has paid a visit to former Adamawa State Governor Jibrila Bindo. Bindo, who served as the governor of Adamawa State from 2015 to 2019, lost his re-election campaign in 2019 partly because of his disagreement with a few notably party figures, at least 2 of whom are widely believed to have dissuaded voters from supporting him. He ran for the party's governorship ticket in 2023 election, but he was unsuccessful, purportedly because the other candidates used strategies that he did not agree with. As a result, there were rumors that he was going to leave the APC to go where? Is it the PDP or the Labour Party? However, Shetima, alongside a few other prominent APC members, paid a visit to Bindo's home in Abuja on Thursday to persuade him to stay in the party and support the party in the 2023 general elections. Shetima begged the former governor to jettison plans of leaving the party because he has labored so much for the party. And he will say, what has been my reward? Now, Shetima added that he cannot watch Bindo leave the party as they will be working on the mission of winning the 2023 election. He said, my brother, you have labored so much for this party. I can't watch you leaving us. We are together on the mission of winning the 2023 election. The APC vice presidential candidate also acknowledged that Bindo went through a lot of pain due to the party's internal feuds, but said that attempts were being made to bring the whole APC in Adamawa State together. Well, would that, as I said earlier on, I asked the question earlier on, change the fortunes of the APC? This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to Prince Abimbola. Good morning, Mr. Archie and White Lion. Thank God it's Friday, of course. All we need is Yoruba Nation, no going back. Let your comments come through, and I promise you one thing for sure, that I'm going to be reading them. But it is Starr Radio UK. Let's take a quick break. We come back, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
The coolest way to start your weekend. The best radio show.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 18 minutes past 11 the time. I hope I've been able to keep you sustained whilst we're waiting for Mr. Olayomi Koiki. But I can tell you, assuredly, we have got Mr. Olayomi Koiki who has joined us this morning. Let me say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, it is a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. And let us say welcome again to the Friday edition of this morning show as we are running up the weekend. But it is the weekend to stay with Starr Radio UK. The 22nd of July 2022, like you said, is just 18 minutes past 11 a.m. rather.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. It's been a very busy day as usual. After quite a lot of engagement throughout yesterday, but it's good to be back again with the team. And like I always say, there is quite a lot happening in Nigeria, but those are issues that we deal with every Monday to Friday. Reviewing those issues, I've been following you in terms of what Governor Autumn say. We're going to be discussing more about that. I'm doing very well, and I hope our listeners and viewers from around the globe are doing extremely very well as well. But let's come back again to you again as we would continue to look at some of those other headlines that we have.
Okay, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Kwakina in North London Studios. I'm Archie in the South Studios, and we're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Okay, now let me ask you about this story, which they said the video has gone viral. Dino Mala is saying, reacting to Tinubu forgetting the name of its own political party. We've been talking about the age thing when it comes to political parties, and we've been saying that, well, Tinubu, he is old. Well, his date of birth actually seems to be shrouded in something that nobody knows his actual date of birth. And apparently, even the court has been ruled about his educational qualification that he said is good, that he has to be apprehended by the police as well, because the court has ruled that the IGP has to arrest him and present him. Well, but do you think that he is becoming forgetful? I mean, I'm not saying that because we have people who are more older than him, yet when it comes to their intellect, they are very, very strong there. They are not so forgetful. But as you age, you become forgetful. Do you think he is more forgetful, becoming more forgetful than even if you compare him to Buhari?
Well, what you've got to remember is Buhari had the same issue, remembering his vice president name, which was, Osibajo at the time. But also people were saying that it could be the pressure. Remember, this is just the beginning. The campaign have not even started. Tinubu was trying to rectify as many issues, ahead of, declaring the vice President Shetima. There was also issues prior to becoming the candidate, disagreement between himself and the party. But you're quite right. There's been a lot of areas that Tinubu have said things that a lot of people will try to question his health, background, especially some of the alternates of PVC being expired. And the INEC literally had to come out on that quickly, to change that there was nothing wrong with the PVC. PVC does not expire. He has also talked about allowing, the youth employment of 50 million youth into the military. And the question is, what are they going to be eating? They will eat agbado, which is cassava. They will eat agbado, which is a maize, and they will also eat agbado, rather is maize, and they will eat cassava in the evening, and all these can be grown inside the country. So looking at his health and the game ahead, the question is, would Tinubu have the energy, the stamina to continue with this campaign before election will hold or not? Because we've got to be realistic. There's a lot on the table at the moment. I've been, like I said, I know Governor Autumn was in London because we had an engagement with him through our colleagues in Canada and US. When Governor Autumn, which is quite very, something that most governors would definitely not allow. We had him on more than an hour speaking on the clubhouse regarding the waterway bill, which we also broadcasted. So, and I knew that it would be coming to London. I knew Governor Makinde, Governor Wike, and Governor of Abia State were also all in London because, they were also again having a very good time in a very cool restaurant here in London without no security, no siren, as they would have done whether in Nigeria, and nobody to disturb them. So this is how these governors, come in outside the country to have what we can call a kind of a meeting, whether it is legal or illegal, but a way to run away from the party audience, and then because not everybody will be able to come to London, and that means that, you know, like you said there, Autumn is not really happy with the way PDP is taking the show away from Wiki, that he believes that Wiki has run has been part of the PDP as a very loyal one as well. But the question is, would all these hold together? Time will tell whether PDP will hold together. And I've been following what you said about Shetima as well. There's a lot of movement that would happen. And remember, I said it in February, the beginning of this year, there will still be probability that APC will break into maybe 3 or 2 before the end of the year.
Well, listeners, do you think APC is going to break up, or are they going to go on, prodding on like no man's business? It is all coming away from Star Radio UK, updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Now, on Tinubu, once again, this allegation of perjury, or not allegation, alleged perjury ruling against him, that the IGP should be compelled, the court is compelling the IGP to arrest him. Now, do you think the IGP can arrest Tinubu?
Well, let's be honest. I'm not sure that would definitely happen. So if anybody today is thinking that the Inspector General of Police would arrest somebody like Tinubu, that will create a lot of problem. You know, not just for the party, but also uncertainty in the country. Tinubu, as we know, has what we call not just somebody that is is capable for doing a lot of things, but I think the impression that a lot of Nigerians think that after the bullion van roll over in his house just before the 2019 election that we also attended as an observer, and then there's a lot of report and petition against him, but nothing happened. And the reason for that is he is a big stakeholder in the party, and the chances that you will go and arrest somebody like that will also create uncertainty in the country. So they'll rather let it be. But if the government, as a lot of people are believing that Buhari might have a different intention, there will be a different way to deal with him. And if you look at the just concluded election in Osun State, prior to that, before, it would have been rigged against PDP. But as you can see already, while the governor have not even accepted defeat, the president is already congratulating the governor. So that indicates that the president did not want to have anything to have on his support against any rigging of sort. So that means they've actually left it open to whoever is going to win. But definitely, like we all know, that the president is still a member of the APC does not literally mean his choice of support is Tinubu, even after Tinubu jokingly on the president that he cried 4 times on the national television until he went to bring him to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it's still a game ahead. We will wait and see how this game will play along as we continue to tell you that it is now almost 203 days today, if I guess, on Star Radio UK, whether there will be election or not, as also the self-determination, the Biafra, even the Hausa. I watched a video yesterday, it's about 11 minutes. Out of that video, I cried inside because a mother threw away the baby into the river while they were running away for the terrorists. This was something that happened in August last year. So many people got killed during that raid on this particular village. Children were killed, massacre, husbands were killed. And like I said, a woman said the woman that was breastfeeding during their walking out of the village threw away a baby into the water so that the movement of her can become much more quicker.
Wow. That is quite serious with what is going on in Nigeria. But listeners, we're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and it's gone 11:28. Now let's come to one issue that we've been talking about all the time. The president even has said that, well, if people want amendment to the constitution, they should go to what do you call it? It should be decided at the Senate, and then the decision will be made. However, information coming through that you've posted, one of the stories, 31 states are yet to consider constitutional amendment. So that means that it looks like some people don't see it as priority at all what others are talking about. So what is that about?
Well, you're quite right. When we look at the 1999 military decree, because it is one of the most fraudulent constitution that you can ever think of that was, put on the Nigerians. Until date, what they've been doing is trying everything possibly best, to amend it, trying everything possibly best, to change it. But the question is, can you amend something that is not actually working, for Nigerians? So 31 states are yet to consider constitutional amendment. What do we mean by that? That means, the expectation that this constitution, that has been used on Nigeria 4 months after the National Assembly transmitted the 44 constitutional amendment bill to 36 state House of Assembly for concurrency, 31 states have yet to vote on the proposed reform. Let us hear what the former Senator Adeyeye had to say on this constitution just about 3 years ago while he was in government. Once again, this is Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let us hear what he had to say then.
And the solution to every crime.
It's just coming up in just about a few seconds.
Is the credo of our republic. It says unity and faith, peace, progress. The truth is, whatever a man sows, the same he will reap. And that goes for a family, that goes for a tribe, that goes for a nation, and that goes for a multinational republic such as Nigeria. When a nation or republic cannot keep faith with justice and with the truth, it will never achieve unity, it will never achieve peace, and it will never achieve progress. Mr. President, sir, one of us quoted from this constitution and went ahead to make prescription for how to move forward. I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity.
Well, you had that there. It can never give us peace, progress, and unity. The question then is, the National Assembly, as at March this year, transmitted the 44 constitution alternation bills to the 36 state assembly for concurrency. The clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Amos Ojo, distributed the copies of the bills to the clerk of the State Assembly at the transmission ceremony in Abuja. The National Assembly at March 1st, 2022, voted for 68 amendments. Let me give an example. In Ondo State, which is a southwest in the Yoruba land of Nigeria today, if the governor wanted to make any use of the resources, they would definitely not be able to do so, apart from going to the federal government to ask for permission to amend the clause in the constitution to third or the fourth-fifth majority of each of the state and house has to approve the amendment, after which it will be transmitted back to the state of assembly, where two-thirds of the 24 out of the 36 of them have to concur. But giving an update on the amendment to one of the reporter, the Speaker's Forum chairman stated that the State Assembly will object to amendment that will not be good for the people. So you can now see that there's a logget, according to what we have, that says on the headline this morning, coming from Nigeria, 31 states out of 36 states in Nigeria are yet to consider constitution amendment.
Well, is it that they seem to see that maybe things are working for them, they like it the way it is, So what's the need to change? I mean, I think I was speaking to somebody a couple of days ago and was saying that if it's not broken, don't fix it. But this is a case where some are saying that, look, this is broken, it's not going to work, it's bringing about more marginalization and more, division, and therefore something should be done about it. And out of 36 states, how many? 31 states have not even considered that. Then we are not going anywhere.
Well, you're quite right. I think there must be so many reasons why some of these states have not even looked into it at all. And those reasons will be known to each of the states. But like I said, the issues surrounding the 1999 Constitution has been a big problem. Yes, some of the State House of Assembly are probably looking into it. He added that all the state houses of assembly are working on the resolution of the NAS presently. The Conference of the Speakers of the State Legislature of the Nigeria, an umbrella body of the speakers of the 36 State House of Assembly, in its first quarter general meeting that took place in Ibadan, Southwest Nigeria, in April 2nd, resolved, among other things, that each state assembly should carry out a public hearing in order to galvanize the input and the views of the people at the grassroots on the ongoing constitutional review exercise. But the question is, will the people still be happy with this constitution? And that is where the argument have come with a lot of those that disagree, with the continuation of Nigeria, to say that this constitution has literally held back, the prosperity, the progress, the unity, just as those senators said about almost 3 years ago now. But the question is, will Nigeria continue to use a fraudulent constitution to operate while it's having a big impact on the lives of millions of Nigerians across the country this morning?
As to whether they're going to do that or not. I mean, so far as some people are benefiting from it, I know for sure they never think about doing anything of the sort. But it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me acknowledge a couple of people and then we'll move on. Razak Busari says, Odua Republic is mere what we Yorubas want. If they like it or not, we will achieve this. Now, Salihu Adeo, good morning to One Love Radio UK. Okay, thank you very much. Razak Busari says, well done. And then going on, a few others. Razak continues, either rigging or not rigging election, Yoruba nation shall stand. Ismaila Ajadi Subaru says, good morning, bro. And Ismaila says, end Nigeria now, Yoruba nation now. Razak says, we still remain saying no to Nigeria anymore. Let me see a quick one on those of you also joining on the YouTube. A few story comments there. Adedayo Adesola says, good morning, Mr. Archie and Mr. Koiki. Yoruba Nation, no going back. Dari Samuel says, good morning, Koiki and Co. Dari says, Yoruba Nation, no, now. Kehinde Anthony says, good morning, Mr. Archie and Mr. Olayomi Koiki, the White Lion. Yoruba Nation, no going back. Dari Samuel, self-determination is not a crime. He goes on, he said, kudos to you all. Omo Odua ni me. Good morning, Koiki. Dari continues, criminals everywhere in Nigeria, and says Nigeria is finished. Yoruba Nation now. Omo Odua continues saying Nigeria is finished. Yoruba Nation now. It's all Starr Radio UK. Continue to send your comments through, and we'll make sure that we read it. Let me see whether Yomi has got any comments from his end. If you are,
we're running concurrence with the same platform this morning. Okay,
good. So I hope that I've acknowledged each and every one of you. Now let's move on to some of the other stories that you did put up across that pertains to revenue falling by 1.89 trillion naira. Nigerians face tougher times. Now, so what has caused this revenue fall?
Well, I made a projection, by the federal government to spend a whopping 6.7 trillion on the fuel subsidy next year, and likewise a major shortfall in the government oil revenue in this year. Economic and energy experts have now predicted tougher days ahead for economic, state, and also Nigerians. According to what we know, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, yesterday released the 4-month fiscal report of the economic during a public consultation on the 2023-2025 medium-term expenditure framework. A lot of Nigerians will probably not look into, some of these kind of conversation, but this is where the nitty-gritty of why you don't have, fuel, why you don't have, issues that are having a big impact on you, just like we discussed yesterday with the collapse of the, with the gridlock of the electricity as well. According to what we know, the crude oil production has been challenged, and the PMS subsidy deduction by the NNPC also constitutes significant threat to the achievement of our revenue growth target as seen in 2022 performance up to April, according to Zainab Ahmed, the finance minister. Bold, decisive and urgent action is now urgently required to address revenue underperformance and also the expenditure efficiency at the national and the sub-national level, she noted as well. According to the economics and the petroleum expert that have now projected that Nigerians and the state government and the economy will experience more tougher days ahead going by the numbers. What can we tell you? The gross oil and gas federation revenue for the first 4 months of 2022 failed to meet the expected target, falling from 3.12 trillion, guess what, to 1.2 trillion. That's almost about 2 trillion cut out. That means representing a 39% performance according to the overview of the 2022 fiscal outcome. So what does this mean to a layman? What it means is, just as we said yesterday, the Bread Bakers Association will be on strike. The NLC will go out on strike on the 26th, 27th. More Nigerians will feel the pinch, and that means there will be more people begging on a daily basis. And as we said yesterday as well, the World Bank is projecting that about almost 95 million Nigerians will go into abject poverty before the end of the year. And the whole reason is there is no production going on in the country. We are not literally producing anything. Not even a toothpick is produced in Nigeria. Everything has to be imported in the country. We are a consumption country. We are not producing country. And that means more Nigerians will fall into this category, as a lot of Nigerians will like to japa, as they will say, which means run out of the country before it gets worse.
Will you japa or will you stay there? Godfrey says Nigeria is finished. Yoruba nation now. Bankole Olani says Nigeria is finished. End it now. They think that there's no point going on any longer, so the best bet is to end it. All right then. Now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds there. You didn't talk about there was this person about the DSS reporting. Signing a word of warning against protests. Now, is it that they are of the view that because of the economical challenges that the country is facing and people actually struggling to make ends meet for themselves, people are going to embark on demonstration, as we've seen in Sri Lanka, that has brought down the government? Are they envisaging that something of the sort is going to happen?
Well, look, like I said, that the crisis and looking at the problems in Nigeria on a daily basis, you can see that the pain, and that will take us to Imo State, and not just Imo State, the whole of Southeast this morning is under lock and key. Nobody's actually coming out because of the 14 innocent Igbo people that were killed. So there was an instruction that was given out, and that instruction has been listened to by millions of people living in Southeast. I'm looking at some of the videos coming out from Southeast this morning. Onitsha is under lock and key. Nobody's harassing anybody. We even order the people who can protest if they want. Biafra is here. The IPOP autopilot under the leadership of Oyendu, piloted by the Biafra spirit, is here. We value lives of the Biafrans, unlike those days when they got killed. The question is, are we going to see something that happened like what we saw in Sri Lanka? Remember at the beginning of this year, there's been a lot of protests across the globe. A lot of Nigerians are still not there yet in terms of this kind of protest. They had one 2 years ago. The government went very hard on them, killed as many of those youth, and that has created a fear. Let's look at the Yoruba as well, when they were having a peaceful rally across the country until Fuller's 1st of July, when the government knew that coming to Lagos was also going to create those headlines across the globe. They invaded Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho's house. 2 innocent people were killed. Up to now, the bodies have not been returned. Even though the rally went ahead 72 hours on July 3rd, but yet a lot of Yorubas feel a little bit down after Chief Sunday Igboho was also arrested for 7 months. But the question now is, there will be more rally, but are we going to see a push like what we saw, even looking at the projection of more Nigerians falling into the trap of poverty? Who is going to fight on behalf of these Nigerians? The Nigerians will have to do the needful so that they can regain back sanity that the government, either this one or the previous one, for the last 1999 till date, has failed millions of Nigerians by not providing the basic things of life. As more Nigerians goes into poverty, who will give the push? That's what people are waiting for right now.
Well, who would give the push? Maybe somebody does that, and the DSS are scared that, look, the country will be ungovernable. But well, at the moment, somebody will say it's already ungovernable. But Razak says, what we are waiting for is only declaration. It says, so God bless Yoruba land. Odua is real. Samsudin, good morning to you. It said, God bless you, Yoruba, God bless Yoruba Nation. Yoruba Nation now, Yoruba Nation. We want God bless you, sir, and God bless you, Shamsudin. Yes, it is Starr Radio UK. We'll go back to Yomi for some of the other stories making the rounds, bringing the time now to 11:45. Over to you, Yomi.
We're going to go straight to the social media and see what is happening. Like I said, the Biafra land is on total lockdown this morning as a protest against, the 14 innocent Igbo that were killed in a wedding that took place somewhere in Imo State. So this morning, every part of the southeast is a complete lockdown. Atiku, Labour Party can't win presidential election. 90% of northerners not on the social media. So you can see that Atiku even himself knew that 90% of the northerners are not on the social media. So let's take a look at what else is trending this morning when we look at some of the news coming out of the trending. Atiku is actually trending. I'm not sure whether because of what he said. Obedience is trending at number 5, and likewise Apostle is trending at number 2. So let's look at why Atiku is trending this morning. According to what we know, according to Neferati at First Ladyship, score an own goal. He said, and I quote, Showore lives outside the country. He comes back every 4 years to contest. He loses and he goes back. Atiku is permanently in Dubai and contests every 4 years. Atiku and Showore, that is coming from Neferati. Also, according to Columbus, Atiku's interview on Arise TV tomorrow morning was pre-recorded in his house. In a snip of the interview was shown on Arise TV. Interviews are not for everyone. Remember, Atiku has only faced the media just twice in the last 7 years. So the poor of a man who wants to lead 200 million is what is also coming. So it looks like Atiku granted an interview that was pre-recorded, and that also is what is generating the conversation this morning. And I think from what Atiku said was the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party has dismissed the chances of the Labour Party in 2023. Let's take a look at what more is trending apart from Atiku this morning. Once again, this is Starr Radio UK at 11:46 a.m. this morning, Friday edition, as we're going into the weekend. According to Robert Spencer is the director of the Jihad Watch, the author of the 25 books, many bestsellers, The Truth About Muhammad, The History of Jihad, Did Muhammad Exist, and The Critical Quran. It's a very critiques, but he also said this morning, Muslims, according to him, murder 68. But what we will say is the terrorist Muslim, not the average Muslim in the southwest, nor the average Muslim in the north that actually killed 68 Christians. Because like I said yesterday, all those that were affected on the August video that I watched were all Muslims from the northern part of the country. And like I said, one woman literally had to throw a newborn baby into the water so that she can escape, the atrocity. You know the north is full of Islamic fundamentalists, yet you want to be in the same country with them? Question mark. Are you mentally balanced at all? Question mark. You know Nigerian identity is a fraud, yet you want one Nigeria? Question mark. Our people are not normal. That is what he's saying right there. So I'm going to take 2 more, and then I'm going to come back again to you in the studio so that we can wrap it up. Well, not a very good one yesterday. A young girl was killed somewhere in the southwest in Abeokuta by the security force. She was actually gunned down, in front of a secondary school, and I'll be getting more update on that because that news came to me just about late night yesterday around 11 p.m. So quite a lot of atrocities happening in Nigeria on a daily basis. And like we always say, Nigeria never happened to you. Even yesterday, the president had to add a meeting which was presided in the State House where the National Security Council announced that it is considering a nationwide ban on the motorcycle. We would discuss that maybe on Monday. Should that take effect, is the government ready to provide the alternative? Because if you have to ban a nationwide motorcycle, that means people would have to walk. Maybe that would trigger the kind of protest that we've been waiting for. I would not know, but we'll wait till then, because motorcycle known as Okada is what is used. I mean, I use it most of the time when I travel to Nigeria, because some road is not pliable at all. So if they are considering banning, even in some of the southwest that has maybe less activities of security threat as against the one in the north, that will create a lot of problem. But it's still a consideration. We will wait and see whether the federal government will go ahead on that or not. But what I can say is there is a plan to ban Okada across Nigeria. So what is trending from the Ilano this morning, those that are fighting for the Yoruba nation, as we can say, there's a lot happening as engagement continue as usual in terms of mobilization. There will be a mega rally very soon that have not been announced yet by the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination, Professor Banji Akintoye, the Alano, the Emeritus. That will be announced very soon, but it's still being on hold until the announcement comes. But there will be a short one, a smaller rally that will be taking place in Abeokuta in Ogun State on the 28th. Next week, we will wait and continue to report on that. But for now, it is Starr Radio UK 1150. I come back to you, but before I come back to you, Ilana Omodua says, the British people cajole us in Africa and made the traditional religion look wicked, dirty, and slavery. But look at the, remember, I'm not sure whether you've seen that, the Aston Villa, where there was a ritual that was taking place, ahead of the new English Football Premier League. So what they are saying is, we can't continue to be calling our own African traditional religion as dirty and slavery, but rather Aston Villa, which I've got the video here in front of me, are performing what we can call a ritual ahead of the English Football Premier League. I don't know what is that for. Maybe to keep the footballer fit, or to win the Premier League. Only Lord knows what kind of ritual was being performed, because rituals are performed for different things, or maybe to keep away the spirit away from them while they're playing their other teams.
Maybe they're trying to keep away the spirit of defeat away from them. That's where they are trying to drive away. But let me say thank you very much. I'll come back to you just in a moment. Samsudin said, God bless you, sir. Saliu Adio says, Yoruba Nation, no going back. There are a few on the YouTube as well. Aziz Badeserik says, good morning, brother. Omodu Animi and Nigeria to save life. Yoruba Nation and Biafra Nation has come to stay, and a crying emoji there. Believe yourself channel. Yoruba Nation must stand strong, and we are all ready. Okay, with some emojis there. And Adeniyi Adebayo says Yoruba Nation must go. And then Miss Gold says we are done with the company British put together. Well, let your comments come through, and I promise you I'm going to read that. But Yomi, before we leave the updates, now you did talk about articles session of the usage of social media in the north, and it's saying about 90% of the people in the north don't use that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, could you repeat that?
Yeah, I was talking about articles session of the usage of social media in the north, where he was assessing that about 90%.
Yeah, you're quite right. Article does those that there's about almost 90% of the northerners that are not on the social media. Not because of anything, because as we do know, the northern part of the country is one of the most poorest part in Nigeria this morning. So yes, he is quite right with that argument. But the question is, what are the those challenges to resolve those problems in the northern part? And as we all say, the northern part is well in the poverty category. But if article is saying that, that also indicates what we have said for a very long time, in terms of, as Nigeria remains the capital poverty of the world, the northern part of Nigeria is definitely one part among them.
Maybe that's why they want to set up a naval base in the north, dredge the sea from the Gulf of Guinea right down to the north and have a naval base there. Interesting one. Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi is going to leave us, but Yomi, before you go.
Well, as we're going into the weekend, remember Star Radio UK will be running a lot of different programs from today till Sunday morning, and I'll be back definitely on Monday morning again at 11 o'clock for more update. But for now, stay tuned with Star Radio UK. I'll be back on Monday, and also remain vigilant as we move around in Nigeria this weekend. Bye for now.
Bye. And may I say once again, may Nigeria not happen to you wherever you might be. Have a good weekend, but stay with us. We've still got some more stories going to be looking at some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. I'll be opening the lines in the next 6 minutes, but we're going to take a break and then we'll come back. But before then, Imole Oron Mila Mimo says, good morning, the White Lion, Yoruba Nation, recognition now. Okay, so he's changed it here now. Recognition now. Okay, Dizzy Fresh also say, good morning, says, good morning, Dizzy. I hope you are doing very, very well. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take this musical break. It's a question that's been posed by one of Nigeria's icons when it comes to music, Sonny Okuson, who says, which way, Nigeria, which way?
Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria, which way Nigeria, which way to go, which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. Want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Inefficiency and indiscipline is ruining the country now. Corruption here, there and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh sure, sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. We made mistakes during the oil boom, not knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything, while many, many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh, yes.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide online online 24/7.
The best radio show.
Green revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow. Let's join our hands to farm the land so we can have enough food to show. Let's save Nigeria. So
Wow! Sonia Kusan was wishing that Nigeria will stand. Sonia Kusan was wishing that everything will work for Nigeria. But at the moment, where we see Nigeria now today, the question is, which way is Nigeria going to go? Will the election even hold come 2023 with all the campaigns and the CUE and stuff that like that is going on? What do you think is going to happen on that front? Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time almost to 12 o'clock. But let me acknowledge a couple of people and then we'll take a quick commercial break and I'll bring you all the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. As I've said, exactly at 12:30, we'll be having our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, who will be joining in on the money hour as well. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only Archie. Now, Razak Busari says, nothing like October 1 in Yoruba land this year. And Shamsuddin Oladipo says, God bless you all and God bless you too, Mr. I hope you are doing very, very well. Okay, let's take this commercial break and we will be back with you. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference, Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie, Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers, Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Welcome back to the program. It is gone 12 o'clock exactly, and it is the Friday edition of the morning show. I am Archie, and from now I'm going to bring you some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. As I announced earlier on, exactly at 12 o'clock, I'll be bringing you, 12:30, I'll be bringing you the money hour with the money man himself, all the way in Kent, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. All right then. So now the lines for you to call 0208-133-2257 or 5802-081-33-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US or Canada or the Caribbean area, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp us. It's 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is at Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. All right then. Morakinho Badejo, good morning. Good morning to you. It's a good one, sir. Good morning to you. And a few comments that have come through as well on the YouTube. Dear, yeah, Rotimi William, no going back. Yoruba, okay, and Drizzy Fresh. 1, 2, 3. He said, God bless Starr Radio. Lots of love to you too. Drizzy Fresh says, Yoruba Nation, now. We stand with Sonny Okuson. All right then, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to tick tock 2 minutes past 12, and it is the Friday edition of the morning show. Wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. Continue to stay tuned as I bring you the rest of the stories of all events that is making rounds across the globe. All right then. Now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds there. And once again, Morakino says, you are welcome, sir. Yes, thank you very, very much. Now, moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. now taking Ghana as well. IMF cannot solve countries' economic woes. That's what Dr. Adam is saying. Now the story says the vice president of the Islamic University, Dr. Gamal Nasser Adam, has stated that the International Monetary Fund cannot solve the country's economic difficulties. He explained that the IMF's loyalty was to main sponsors and multinational corporations for whom it endeavors to create the right environment to enable them to accumulate profits globally without state restrictions. It presents a facade of assisting the client country to maintain general financial discipline, restore balance of payment, equilibrium, and solve the debt crisis through debt rescheduling and more loans, he said. So you go, you embark on that journey. I tell you that it's a journey of no return. So no matter what you do there, it's going to take you ages for you to come back out of that doldrums, whether you will be able to do so. Dr. Adam was speaking at a public forum organized by Arise Ghana, a pressure group, on the theme Ghana Socioeconomic Outlook, the prospect of an IMF program, last Wednesday, and it was attended by some students from the University of Ghana, Accra Technical University, and the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, as well as Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST. He stated that the unstated objective of the IMF was to enforce an international division of labor in which the industrialized capitalist countries monopolizes manufacturing, technology, and finance capital, while developing countries were pinned down to primary agricultural production to serve as an enclave for the extraction of raw materials. And that is why I know for sure, if he's listening to me, one of our own, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, would say that that is not on until we get to a point where we are now coming out, our engineers are putting their heads together, coming out with machines to actually produce or refine or add value to our raw materials. Will be languishing in this trouble forever and ever. But what do you think about that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But come to think of it, now, which country has ever, been to the IMF for this? That time they had structural adjustment program. In Ghana, they had structural adjustment program 1, 2, 3, and then we had all this PAMS card and all. Well, we had lots of things that was going on there. But where has it landed us now? Now we find ourselves even in worse waters than we do. But some say that, look, it is our own people, our leaders, who are failing us. Now, what do you think? Do you think our leaders are the ones failing us, or we are failing ourselves as people, that we are not doing what we're supposed to do? What do you think is happening there? It's all coming your way in from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, still one other story that I want to bring your way from there as well. It's been 10 years since the loss of the former president. They call him Asinje Hene, President John Atta Mills. 10 years on, what has been some lessons that have been learned from his tenure in office, and what lessons do you think, if you are listening to us, you've also learned from his tenure in office? Okay, now some other stories. Premature for EC to brief House on CI, the majority are saying. It seems like the majority seems to be the spokesperson for the Electoral Commission. Every time there is any party in power, they seem, who form the majority, they seem to be spokesperson for the EC. But the EC is supposed to be an independent institution. Well, the majority are described calls by the minority for the Electoral Commission to brief the committee on the whole on its plan to lay a new constitutional instrument, that CI, on the use of Ghana card as the sole document for the continuous voters registration as premature. Now, Chairman Sabonsu said there was no cause for alarm since the next general election was not due until the last quarter of 2024. That the Ghana card registration exercise by the National Identification Authority is ongoing exercise, and if there are any bottlenecks, the appropriate briefing will be given to the House, he said. Was he briefed by the EC. Well, Mr. Chairman Sabonsu rejected the call after the first deputy minority chief whip, Ibrahim Ahmed, had drawn the House attention to a CI which was currently being considered by the subsidiary legislation committee. He said the instrument, which had already been pre-laid, will become law after 21 sitting days. Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, GSG is reviewing free SHS to determine how much parents can pay. And that is quite an interesting one. That is the Ghana Education Service reviewing that. So what is a free SHS? Well, Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku Amankwa, says a review of the free SHS policy is underway. This exercise, he reveals, is geared at determining which of the cost components government can relinquish to parents to pay. He goes on further to say we can do the analysis and then come up and say that, okay, to give Raymond quality education, it will cost this much. Within that cost, there are the items in the cost. Now, then we will all put it out there and say this item, we can make do of it. And it will not affect quality. This item, I think we can get parents to pay, he told hosts of a program. But interestingly, the question is, the Minister of Finance in a statement earlier this month indicated that the policy will not be suspended despite seeking support from the IMF. It however noted that the IMF will be concerned about possible lack of finance and ability of government to sustain its expenditure. Now, free SHS, the school feeding program, among others, are good social intervention programs, and it is the lack of financing and unsustainable debt burdens that could constrain a government's ability to maintain its level of spending, including social or investment spending. Now, in our situation, the IMF may ask Ghana to consider curtailing lower priority or non-productive spending, such as white elephant projects, as part of its fiscal adjustment, but to preserve priority social spending, including on health and education, he stated. Now, he was the Director General whether a view of the program is underway and if it had ended. He said, Professor Amankwa responded that they are now nowhere near a conclusion, but a component of the review is geared at ensuring a cost arrangement that ensures quality. So what are we going to see now? A means tested way of education, as some of us were advocating for all the while, yet they didn't do that. Are we now going to be saying something of the sort? Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on to some part of Africa as well. Oh wow. Well, children of the late leader of Angola, Eduardo dos Santos, have agreed that his body be buried, or he be buried in Angola. The family of former Angolan President Jose Eduardo dos Santos agreed on the place of his burial. The dos Santos children have agreed that their father will be buried in Luanda, Angola, but only after the general election on August 24. Now, since the death of former Angolan president on July 8, the family had been arguing with Angolan authorities who wanted a burial to be held in the country so that the people could pay tribute to him. The dos Santos children refused this request, fearing an attempt at political recuperation in the run-up to the election. In addition, their father confided to them his desire to be buried in Spain, where he was treated before his death. Now, Jose Eduardo dos Santos, who died at age 79, made history after serving as Angola's president for 38 years until 2017. These are all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Some stories from other parts of the world. And thank you very much for continuing to stay with us. If you have any comments, as I did say, let's put it across. Drizzy Fresh says enough is enough. We've had enough of Nigeria. And Amogini Ruth says more hearts and love unto us now. More love to you, Ruth. Amo Ruth. Okay. Yes. Good morning once again, or good afternoon now to you wherever you might be. Now, quickly moving on to other parts of the world, because we'll be crossing over to Kent, where Money Man is for the Money Hour. Now, issues pertaining to the food crisis that is going on across the globe. Ukraine and Russia poised to sign grain deal, and some of the stories making the rounds there is saying that Turkey says a deal has been reached with Russia to allow Ukraine to resume export of grain through the Black Sea. It is to be signed on Friday, that's today, in Istanbul by Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, and the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Now, the world shortage of Ukrainian grain since Russia's 24th February invasion has left millions at risk of hunger. The invasion sent food prices soaring, so the deal to unblock Ukraine's ports is crucial. Some 20 million tons of grain in stock in the country. Now, Ukraine's foreign ministry confirmed that another UN-led round of talks to unblock grain export will take place in Turkey on Friday, and a document may be signed. President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his late night address that Kyiv awaited news regarding the unblocking of our ports. But one Ukrainian MP close to the talks voiced caution over the deal. He said, we don't have an agreement yet. Odessa MP Oleksiy Honcharenko said, we don't trust Russians at all, so let us wait till tomorrow for a final decision, and that there will not be some pushbacks from Russia and last minute changes. He goes on further to say, I'll keep fingers crossed. Tomorrow we'll have a deal and Russia will really respect it. The U.S. State Department welcomed the UN brokered deal, but said it was focusing on holding Russia accountable for implementing it. We should never have been in this position in the first place. This was a deliberate decision on the part of Russia's Federation to weaponize food, said the department spokesman Ned Price. Okay. So more stories making the rounds there. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, more information is coming about the January. Is it January? Okay, let me look at it. Ex-US President Trump watched last year's Capitol riot on TV at White House, ignoring his children and aides who begged him to rebuke the mob a congressional hearing has had. Now, he chose not to act, said Adam Kinzinger, one of two Republicans on the Democratic-led committee. The prime-time hearing was told Mr. Trump did not make a single call to law enforcement or national security staff. He was motivated by his selfish desire to stay in power, the inquiry alleged. On Thursday night, the House of Representatives Select Committee used its 8th hearing of the summer to draw a timeline of Mr. Trump's activities over 187 minutes on the 6th of January 2021 as a mob of supporters raided Congress. The panel is seeking to build a case that Mr. Trump, a Republican, acted illegally in a bid to overturn his defeat by Joe Biden, a Democrat, in the November 2020 presidential election. Members of the committee have suggested that there might be enough evidence to charge Mr. Trump with such counts as obstructing an official proceeding of Congress, conspiracy to defraud the American people, or witness tampering. Any potential prosecution of Mr. Trump will be led by the Department of Justice, but some commentators have suggested that the advice issued by Attorney General Merrick Garland requiring prosecutors to obtain approval before embarking on politically sensitive investigation means it's unlikely Mr. Trump will ever face trial. But do you think that will stop him from vying for that position again? Because if when he came in first, he did that, and now that I bet he you know how vindictive he is. My goodness, but But well, something that what he was doing was right. He didn't want to go because he's got all the best brains and he had the best ideas for the US. But well, what do you think? It's all coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'll be crossing over to Kent in the next 12 minutes, but just bear with me. While forces raid anti-government protest camp in Sri Lanka, as I said, security forces in Sri Lanka raided the main anti-government protest camp in the capital early Friday, arresting protesters and dismantling tents. Hundreds of troops and police commandos moved on the protesters outside the presidential office in Colombo hours before they were due to leave the area. Now, some videos show journalists were beaten by the army, and one soldier snatched his phone and deleted videos. 9 people, including 2 who are injured, have been arrested by the police. Now, police described the incident as a special operation to take control of the presidential secretariat. Well, they've done that. What will the what citizens do after they giving the new president some time to restore order? Now, man killed at sinkhole opens under swimming pool. That is a scary one. That is a scary one. I'm seeing the picture here and it's quite scary. 2 people have appeared in court after a man was sucked to his death when a sinkhole opened and the swimming pool he was in at a house party in Israel. The incident happened at a villa which was hosting a company event in the central town of Karimi Yusuf, 25 miles southeast of Tel Aviv. The victim has been identified as a 32-year-old employee of the company. A couple in their 60s who owned the property were arrested on suspicion of causing death by negligence. Now, mobile phone footage of the incident shows people in swimming costumes in and around the near empty pool watching in shock as the water drains away into a large hole, taking with it inflatable objects. A man who edges near to have a look slips backwards but manages to get up narrowly, avoiding also being pulled into it. An incredulous voice off camera is heard to exclaim, "What?" in Hebrew. Media reports say the victim, Khalil Kimihi, fell into the hole, which was 43 feet or 13 meters deep. They say it took rescue teams 4 hours to reach him. Well, may his soul rest in perfect peace. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And the last bit of our of the first part of the program before we go to Kent, where our money man is. Just stay with me. Okay, so now moving on straight back to some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. And I was asking the question earlier, do you think that maybe privatizing some of the NHS was going to help us now, looking at the backlog that have been created after or since the COVID pandemic, and you see lots of people now going for loans to go get treatment because you look at the waiting times before you can get your turn for maybe a procedure to take place, and you think, if I'm in pain or I don't like what is going on, then I might have to just go on that path. What do you think? We're going to be looking at that. And UK Brexit divorce bill could rise up to 7.5 billion. Now that we don't have the money, let me bring that your way first. The UK Brexit divorce bill from leaving the EU could rise to 42.5 billion pounds, potentially adding billions to payment, the government says. Now, Treasury Minister Simon Clarke said inflation meant the bill could be up to 7.5 billion higher than initially estimated. The UK struck a deal to pay the EU for outstanding spending commitment after leaving the bloc in January 2020. The Liberal Democrats said the terrible deal was costing UK taxpayers billions. Originally, the government estimated the bill, which covers spending commitments made during the UK's membership objective of the EU will be between 35 billion and 39 billion. A ministerial statement published on Thursday this week as Parliament broke up for summer says the latest estimate of 42.25 billion shows an increase against the original range. Now, Mr. Clark's statement says the increase is primarily due to the most recent valuation of the UK's obligation under Article 142 for EU pensions. He cited assumptions about inflation, in other words, rising prices over time, as one of the main drivers of the increase. However, given this is a multi-decade liability, the variables used in this forecast will continue to fluctuate up and down, Mr. Clark said. Now, global economic turmoil has sent inflation soaring to 40 years high this year, drastically increasing the cost of food and fuel. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Well, Bojo did negotiate all those bits and now he's out, virtually out. But what do you think is going to happen? My final story before I bring the first part of the program to a close. The NHS forces patients to pay for private ops. Long NHS waiting times appear to be pushing people into paying thousands of pounds for private treatment. There were 69,000 self-funded treatments in the UK in the final 3 months of last year, a 39% rise on the same period. My apologies there. On the same period last year. Now, experts said it was a sign of how desperate people had become. The BBC has some stories have seen evidence of people taking out loans and resorting to crowdfunding to pay for private treatment. The figures from the Private Healthcare Information Network, the PHIN, do not include those who have private insurance. Instead, they are the people paying the full cost of treatment themselves, leaving them liable for huge bills. The numbers paying for care topped 250,000 last year for common operations like hip and knee replacement. The cost can top 15,000. Now, patient groups warned that there was a risk of a two-tier system being created, with the poorest losing out because they were the least likely to be able to afford to pay for treatment. And where does that up take place? Does it take place in the NHS or private hospitals? What is happening there? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to take a break, and once we come back, we'll be bringing Mr. Tabiri your way. We're going to be looking at getting help with bills and other income supports available in these times where everything seems to be challenging, so challenging. You will need that, and I will need that as well. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Okay, let me bring you one local tune from Ghana. This around cover version of Sufre Onyame, Call on Your God by the Devox Ghana or Devox GH. Wow, this is a time where if you have God that you have to call on, you have to call on your God. But since our tough times ahead, well, that's why Starr Radio UK prepares you for everything that you need to do. Because of course, once again, Mr. Tabiri is going to be coming your way with the Money Hour. We're going to be looking at the necessary supports that have been handed out to you. So stay tuned and enjoy that tune whilst we get Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services, joining us in a bit.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr
So be a decade, money,
Only the best music. The best radio show.
This is Starr Radio UK.
So friend when you're
Radio UK is here to make sure that we bring you the best in everything. And as we promised you, we're going to be having Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining us in just the next few minutes. I tell you, he's a busy man. For us to get him on the radio every Friday is a good thing that he does for us. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you go away. Now you enjoy that tune, that call on your God, and if it's the will of God, everything is gonna be all right. That's what the song says. I mean, we are in difficult terrain, but some way, somehow, when you have information, you have the right information, you are able to go through the challenges, knowing how to prepare yourself. All right. So there are issues where bills. I mean, we see the percentages. I mean, of rise. I mean, you don't want to talk about it. I saw some bills, some statistics that were being put across, and I was looking at it. I was asking myself the question: my goodness, how can people cope with this? But well, Starr Radio UK will bring you tailored measured programs to make sure that whatever you are going through, you got ample ammunitions to be able to go through that. And so we're going to be looking at the bills and some income support that are available if you find yourself in such a situation where you can get help from, advice from. Make sure your dials are so logged on Starr Radio UK. Don't even think of going away, because Mr. Tabiri is joining us in the next few moments. A quick commercial break. We come back. We'll be having Mr. Tabiri with us.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And as I said, we were waiting the arrival of Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and lo and behold, he is with us here now. And let me say a massive good afternoon to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Good afternoon to you, Archie.
How are you? Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. And you?
Yes, I'm good too. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much for finding the time or making the time to join us, because we know that these are very, very busy times, but you knowing that it's a very challenging time, we need to get on board, make sure that our listeners and our friends and loved ones are getting the necessary help that they are supposed to. Now this morning, or the day, I think sometime this week, we had the money man, Martin, also making a statement that is going to get to a point where people might get to a point, a crisis point where people are going to say that we're not going to be paying our bills at all. But I don't think people will want to be doing that, because if they have the necessary support, they will go in to pay it. They rather have their peace of mind rather than being pursued maybe later on in court, or which you're not very sure of what is going to happen there. So bills, high cost of living. What do we do about it?
Yeah, so it is a serious situation we have, and it's predicted that in October, household bills, energy bills especially, is expected to hit around the 3,400 mark on average. So we are in serious times, and we need to find any way, any means at all possible where we can to reduce the bills that we have. So it's important that we get the right information, to see what support systems are out there, what are some of the things that we can do to reduce our bills, to save some money. And the place to do that will be this through Starr Radio UK on a Friday afternoon.
Yes, listeners, as we assured you, that is the man who can guide you. All right. Now, so let's talk about bills here. So I was sitting down quietly, just reflecting and looking at some of the consumption that goes on at home. And I'm looking at, where do you cut? Where do you start from? So looking at the bills, generally, where do you think people can cut down on some of their bills? And then we come to how helps that are available.
Yeah, so I think the first thing we need to look at is what support is out there. By all means, energy bills is very topical at the moment. So anything you can do at this time to reduce your energy bill. Luckily, the sun has been on and we have actually been too hot, so most people have not put their heating on. But we have to cook to eat and all that, so we're still using gas and electrics at home. We all have to be mindful of our usage. If we haven't taken any particular attention at all of the usage that we make at home, then this is the time that we have to. So if there are any rooms with light left on, you know, especially if you have kids at home, they are more likely to leave things light on in rooms even when they are not there. So you have to be mindful, and we have to educate the whole household, especially about the need to, you know, reduce the bills so that everybody is conscious of. So you turn off lights, you turn off gadgets, you know, if you can, don't leave some gadgets on standby, because over time they all draw some electricity or draw power, which increase your bill. So use the various tips that are available, basically to try and conserve or reduce your usage, and that's one way to do it. Another way would be also to see and understand what help is out there for your energy bills. We know that the government has scrapped the previous support that is announced to give £200 of energy loan, you know, to reduce our bills, which would have been repayable over 4 years. This has been replaced by a £400 discount on our energy bills in autumn, which we are expected to receive. So we all have to make sure that when you get your bill, this is being reflected. This is going to be applied across board on all bills. So let's look out for that to make sure we receive this credit on our bills.
Now, interestingly, one question that seems to be going through the minds of people is, if I can't pay, what can I do? Because at the moment, as you say, because we are in summer and this is, so people are not turning on their heaters that and the electric, they are not turning those on. But that is going to come autumn and winter. Now, and people cannot pay. What can they do?
So if you cannot pay, I can assure you, you will not be the only one in that situation. You know, in these kind of situations, the only thing you do is to speak to your energy supplier. Obviously, after you have exhausted all other support mechanisms in place, i.e. universal credit, pension credit, tax credit, housing benefit support, and all that. After you've exhausted all of that, if you're still struggling, speak to your energy supplier. They always have support systems in place that they will be able to speak to you or able to direct you as to what you need to do. The best way of dealing with this is to communicate and not, disregard the bills that come through the door, or, ignore the warning letters. That rather makes the situation worse, and you would get, letters and things that increase your anxiety in this times, and that is not very good for your mental health. The good thing to do is to speak to your energy supplier directly, explain to them your situation. They would go through some form of income and expenditure assessment to see how much disposable income you've got, and if they are able to establish that indeed you need help, they might be able to do something, even give you a discount or write some of these bills out. There are various things that are available, but you need to communicate with them.
Well, so now listeners, you are listening to Starr Radio UK, the morning show with our money man on the Money Hour. He's Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. Now, when it comes to all your accounting issues, name it, he's there to help you out. Okay, you go in, you just say Starr Radio UK, you get a discount for that as well. Those who have done that can attest to that. So please make sure in the abundance of water you not become a fool who is thirsty. All right, then, and we are putting information through. Today we are looking at bills and income support available in these dire or challenging times or difficult times, as some others are putting it. Now, Mr. Tabiri, now people are looking at credit ratings, and here, if you have to go for any credit, how you've actually managed your income and your outflows is what pertains to it. And so people have the view that if it happens that I'm not being able to pay my bill and I go to the supplier and say that, look, this is a challenge that I have, and sometimes it might end up affecting their credit ratings. Is that a possibility?
No, not at all. If it affects your credit rating when you default on loans and agreements that you've got. So if you approach them and speak to them, then they are more likely to deal with you on a level where they would not resort to, putting a bad credit on your credit file. So yes, so it still remains the same, that the best way to deal with this is to communicate with them, and this should not affect your credit file. So long as you have some arrangement, some agreement with them, they will not do that to your file.
Okay. So it's very important, if you're listening to us, to get in touch with them, get the necessary help that you need. Now, you were talking about some available income support as well, because people, you go to some of the supermarkets, you look at things that is going on. I get worried, because I like going to the supermarket a lot of times, looking at things, looking at how people behavior and stuff like that, and you can see that people are under pressure. But you were talking about the fact that there are other income support available. Which are some of them, sir?
Yes, definitely. So we'll go through a few of them. Some of them we've mentioned before. If you are in receipt of any disability benefits, then remember you have a £650 cost of living payment for disabled people who also receive means tested benefits. So these payments, I would expect that by this time most people would have received their £650 payment. So if you haven't received it, then you need to look and see and ask the questions and find out from HMRC when you'll be receiving this. Also to remember that there will be an extra one-off £150 payment to those who are receiving this disability cost of living payment. So that is a top up to take them up to £800. Okay. And then also there's winter fuel payments and pensioner cost of living payment. So these are help available to help our pensioners. So in the winter months, pensioners can get between £100 and £300 to pay specifically heating bills. And they would also receive an extra one of £300 pensioner cost of living payment, which will be paid as an automatic top-up to the winter fuel payment. So this would go directly to mitigate some of the rising cost of the fuel payment, which is expected to hit this winter. And that is the government support that is available to help through the winter period, when the energy bills or the energy price cap, which is expected to increase in October this year. There's also, we need to remember, there's also the council tax rebate. A few people have still not received their rebate, either because they have not completed the right forms, or they are not aware or have not responded to their councils. As at the moment, it's estimated that 4 out of 5 households in England have not received their £150. 4 out of 5 households have received their council tax rebates. So we have 1 in 5 who have not received theirs. So if you haven't, you need to get in touch with your council and see how you can make this claim and get your £150 back. Every little helps, as they say in these times, so you can get some relief. Then for those on receiving certain benefits, there will be £25 extra a week if you are receiving certain benefits available during the winter period when the temperature is 0 or below for more than 7 days. So you need to check with HMRC if you are on certain benefits, whether you qualify to receive this £25 extra a week. This is expected to come in the winter months, and we hope that this would also help people to, cushion themselves against this high inflation and high cost of living that we are all experiencing.
Okay. Listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, who this afternoon is with us, bringing us some information that will help you go through these challenging times. Namely, we're looking at some bills and the income supports that are available to you wherever you might find yourself. So just stay with us. We're going back to him for him to put any other information that he has across. But one question that someone is asking is there any help for businesses?
Yes. So businesses at the moment, as we know, we came out of the COVID support schemes. Businesses have not had any extension of support being made out to them at the moment. As we know, the elections for the next leader is here with us, and one of the topical issues at the moment being discussed or debated has to do with the issue of tax cuts.
Yeah.
And so that is the subject that is on the table at the moment. The chancellor or the previous chancellor was pushed to cut VAT, and we don't know what is going to happen. We all have our fingers crossed to see what the next government is going to do by way of VAT and general taxes. Really, we might see a reversal if one of the candidates gets their way, because they are campaigning on the grounds of tax cuts, and so we might see some changes in that aspect. But generally, there isn't any more support, direct support or funds or pool of funds that businesses can access. Understand that we still have the recovery loans still available. We still have the new business or startup loans still available. The businesses would have to look to see if they qualify for these. Obviously, the relaxation of the rules that we had during the pandemic have all been removed, and these loans are now being given on very commercial terms. And we know the interest rate is rising, so you'd have to consider carefully what you need to support your business. And if you definitely need some funding, you'd want to look into how you can qualify for these loans that are available.
Okay. Well, listeners, interesting help available for you. As I've said all the time, and I continue to say, don't be a fool. Excuse my words, there might be too harsh, but don't be a fool and get thirsty while there is abundance of water. There is help. These are difficult and challenging times, but hey, do your best, get help as and when you need it. But we got our money man who can help you, advise you when it comes to your accounting and all that stuff. Yeah, whether it's business, whether it's self-employed, name it, he's there to help you on that front. So we'll go to him once again for him to run up the discussions that we had, and he's going to put his contact details across. And please make sure you get in touch with him. Over to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Yeah, so we should also be aware that we know that the government has provided household support fund to councils. So really, if you are struggling, like you know, in an answer to your question previously, you can also speak to your council because they have some funds that they are able to disperse on a discretionary basis for essential daily costs like energy bills. So, you know, for people, recipients, it would include pensioners and families with children. If you approach your council and say you want to access the household support fund, they would do the necessary checks and make sure that you are adequately supported. So let's not lose out on these support systems that are available. One thing that we can also do is that currently we have 0% VAT on energy saving materials. So if it will be cheaper for you to install energy saving materials such as thermal insulation or solar panels with 0% back for the next 5 years. And this we know would also help to improve energy efficiency in your homes and keep your heating bills all down. So these are some of the things that you can be looking at to see, to be able to reduce your bills. Yeah, there are things like, you know, looking to see things like phone and broadband costs going up everywhere. It's important that people check and look at what's on the market to see if there's any possibility of switching to another lower tariff rate. Look at your contract to see if there's you're nearing renewal of your contract. Then you'll be looking to get the best rates out there on the market. Another thing that I would also mention is, you know, many water companies run hardship schemes or fund independent charitable trusts which can help with your water bills. So look into this, ask your water provider if you are struggling with a bill to see what schemes or what support they can offer to you. Yes, so these are some of the things that if you don't ask, really, you won't get. But if you're struggling and you let them know, you communicate, then they will be able to support you. And lastly, I would say that TV license fees has been frozen at £150 for the year until 2024. So this means that households will not see any change to license fees until the 1st of April 2024, and this should go a long way to help, you know, reduce our bills. There are lots more things that we all need to know and understand and try and use to our benefit. And the only place to do that, at the moment, I'll direct you to Starr Radio UK every Friday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. We try and bring you money saving tips, try and bring you tax saving tips, anything that we can find information that will help households especially, we will do so. If you have any questions, need any help or assistance, I'm ready to speak to you on 079-6124-8834. 079-6124-8834, or you can email me at dan@gilaccountants.com. dan@gilaccountants.com.
Well, listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri. But Mr. Tabiri, you know, somebody's asked another question before you go. He's asking when he talked about water usage, and he's thinking that's getting a dishwasher or a dish cleaner. What do you need? Yeah, a dish cleaning machine, okay? And just washing your stuff manually. Which one saves money? Let me put it that way. Because it's going to save energy and it's going to save water if it's good. What do you think?
Definitely, dishwasher would because you're using water, using using electricity as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's double bills there. It depends on the household. So if you are washing manually, you're using water as well. Sometimes, but that is under your control. Or if you're washing with your hands, it all depends on at this time, people can decide to switch off their washing machines and do it manually.
Oh my goodness!
If you help, you reduce your energy bills, if anything at all, even if it's not water. But if you are washing with your hands, obviously you can also regulate the amount of water you use to wash.
Yeah. Wow, listeners, make sure that you don't miss next week's. And then anyone that previously you've missed as well, you go to our social media platform. It's all there, and it's on our podcast as well. So please make sure you take advantage of the information that has been put across. Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful presentation once again.
You are most welcome. It's been a pleasure speaking to you and your lovely listeners this afternoon.
All right, and have a lovely afternoon, and we'll catch up later, sir.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you. Well, listeners, that was Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. You don't want to miss out on any of the tips that is put across. Go to our social media platform, whether Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all the others that we broadcasted on, and make sure that you take advantage of the information that is put across. It's very, very, very important at this time. It's going to help you a great deal to water the storms. Okay. Okay, so please make sure you do so. But this one, I'm going to bring the program to a close. 5 minutes past 1 the time. The morning show, the program, Starr Radio UK, the station. This evening there's not going to be an NFIA Sewarakoto because she's celebrating her birthday. And once again, let me say happy birthday to you, NFIA Sewarakoto. And then come Sunday, we're going to be bringing another edition of the it's going to be church service. Going to be a live broadcast of the church service, and then we'll move on to bring you in the evening Faith Talk with KB Bossman. We're going to be having representatives of the Ladies to Lady conference joining in as well. That conference starts or comes your way on the 30th. That's next week, Saturday of July, and it is at the Fairfield Halls. So get in touch with them and they will help you that way. I mean, there's nothing that God can't do, right? Good. Now, another social announcement before I go. The Inspired Day Nursery is inviting all of you living in the Croydon catchment area. Well, if you can travel wherever to come to this area, to 68 Wilmer Road, Croydon CRO 2XP for the Summer Barbecue 2022. That is tomorrow, Saturday, the 23rd of July, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Well, that event is going to be taking place here. There's going to be games. There's going to be bouncy castle, face painting, music, raffle, and a great food preparation there as well. Tickets are going to be in advance, £3 per person. Babies under 1 come free. More on the day. Please bring money. Bring money and a spirit of giving. All proceeds will go to Noah's Ark Children's Hospice. Well, so that is where I bring the program to a close for today. It's going to be another scorching of the weather there again. Yes. For sure it's going to be. So wherever you are, you make sure you keep yourself safe. Those who smoke. I was talking to somebody and said, the place, I can see somebody just throwing a cigarette by the roadside. I said, don't do that. All those fires that were caused in various places due to the heat that was experienced on Monday, Tuesday, it's all part of that. Something sparked it because somebody might have just thrown something and then a little fire there, and then the breeze and then everything, and then it catches fire. So please, let us do our best to stay safe wherever we are, and let's use our common sense in everything that we do as well. But I say, have a lovely, jubbly weekend, and I promise you, God willing, if Monday we are still alive, we're going to be coming your way with another edition of the morning show. But let me bring you the tune, cover version of Bob Marley's song, The Sun is Shining. Sun is shining out there. It looks a bit cloudy from my CCTV footage, but hey, wherever you are, enjoy your day. Bye-bye for now. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only Archie.
shining, weather is sweet. Make you wanna move your dancing feet to the rescue.
This is Starr Radio.
Here I am, want you to know ya. Where I stand. Monday morning, here I am. Want you to know just if you can where I stand. Wednesday morning.